Hey everyone, the chubby film nerd here to talk about my review on The Neon Demon. Now, The Neon Demon is directed by Nicolas Winding Refn, and he has done such films like Drive, Only God Forgives, and Bronson. And the film stars Ellen Fanning, Jenna Malone, sorry for mispronouncing that, and Keanu Reeves. Well, sort of. Well, let me talk about what the movie's about. But it pretty much is about a young girl named Jessie who basically moves into Los Angeles to launch her career as a model. And because of her physical qualities and her natural beauty, she's capable of becoming one of the top models in the industry, and that causes some problems to a group of girls who become very jealous, envious of her beauty and of her fame. So, but basically, my thoughts on it is, what did I think about it? And Neon Demon is basically a very twisted, very stylized, disturbing, shocking at times, and a very well made movie that you have to experience yourself instead of me just talking about it. But it's a very well made movie, and it kind of has, if I were to compare this movie in any way, it is pretty much like if Mulholland Drive had a baby with Black Swan, they would have Neon Demon. And that would be like the most accurate description as I would describe this movie. But it does deal with a lot of complicated things, maybe a little bit of beauty and narcissism, and how like models try to strive to be at the top and what they're willing to do in order to stay in the spotlight or do whatever they can to try to be noticed and be famous about it. So I kind of feel like that movie goes through a lot of those themes, and it's very interesting as to the progression of Elle Fanning's character. So it was a pretty intense and a very interesting story, in my opinion, on this movie. Elle Fanning is she played a very believable character, a very fidgety model, and like her innocence, and that she's not this sense of isolation, because she barely moved into Los Angeles, so she doesn't know how this industry works and what she's pushing her limits to actually make it to the top, because as she's going into the movie, she's very unsure of being as a model. But as she starts to storm through everybody else, and there is an interesting transition into the movie where her character changes, and I thought that was pretty brilliant. It just becomes very interesting what she does with her character, and she does a wonderful performance on that. Another note as to the performances of the actress that's been chosen here are Lena Malone. I thought her character as the makeup artist was very interesting, and she kind of goes through her own transition, and it's very shocking what she does, but that's what kind of like makes her character shine a bit, because when she appears, you're kind of like interested as to what she's up to, and just her charisma in that film in a very eerie way is very interesting. So I kind of liked her character as well. Now, Keanu Reeves, he's in the movie, but he's only in the movie briefly, not as much as I guess some people would hope to be. But he does play a very strange and a very menacing apartment manager, actually. But I didn't know. I feel like what they did with this character wasn't very much. I mean, he played it. He played it good. I liked his performance in it, but just his character, I feel like they didn't really do. I feel like they were going somewhere with this character, but they didn't really. There's a transition that happens with his character where it's a bit out of place, but in the end they just cut off his character completely. So I kind of feel like they didn't really do much with this character, and they could have done maybe a little bit more or of his story, but not. They didn't really do much with it. So yeah, so that's Keanu Reeves. But the other two models who mostly hang out with the makeup artists who are jealous and envious of Elle Fanning's character are pretty good. They performed really well. I think one of them was from the Mad Max Fury Road movie. I think she was one of the brides. I'm not sure, but yeah, I mean they did an awesome job, and yeah, just the entire casting in this movie is very great, very spot on. All of their performances are great. As the visuals actually and the artistic metaphors in this movie are also amazing. Like it's really it really gets your attention. I like what they did with all the colors, all the neon, you know, like the neon atmosphere to it, and this dreamlike escapade with this movie. It just feels like very like if you're in a dream or something. That's what it gives the mood off the film. So it was very interesting to see and to watch, and I just couldn't take my eyes off it. There is a certain scene where Elle Fanning's character and then the rest of the girls, they were looking at a show at a party, and there was a lot of flashing red and a lot of flashing lights, and I thought that was amazing. It was pretty cool sequence, and it was very well directed, so I really liked that a lot. But yeah, just visuals are stunning. Oh, and the music was awesome. A lot of techno music into it, and it really just fits on all the other soundtracks on it also fit the mood of the film, so it was actually really great to just hear the soundtrack. I believe it is the same guy who did the soundtrack for Drive and all his other films as well, so yeah, spot on to that. Great job to that guy who pretty much does his music. The music felt really great in the movie as well. The only thing that would probably make or break the movie for most people, because a lot of people are kind of split down the middle about this movie, is pretty much the third act of the movie, which is a bit shocking and a bit ridiculous and a bit goofy in some way, but people can either have fun and kind of like roll with the movie, or people can just be like, it kind of pushes people away as to the ending of the film. But it does get a bit disturbing and shocking in the end of the film, which I won't spoil, but it is an interesting turn of events. So I kind of had fun with it because I was kind of a little bit entertained by the outlandish stuff that was happening on the third act. So kind of went with it, and yeah, I mean, it's an experience to watch. I recommend watching this because it is different. It is ballsy. It is it is visually stunning, well performed, and this is probably better than his previous film, Nicolas Winding Refn's previous film, Only God Forgives, because I felt that movie was very pretentious, and I feel like in this one it was trying to be pretentious, but it was kind of not taking itself too seriously. So it was pretty ridiculous but fun, but very interesting. It's really like a surreal experience with this film. So yeah, I mean, I personally liked it. Not my favorite film this year, but it is pretty enjoyable to watch. I'm going to give this film a 7.1 out of 10. So yeah, I mean, watch it on your own leisure. This is basically my review for Neon Demon. I would like to hear all of your comments and your opinions on this film. So you could just leave a comment. If you like this video, please give it a like. And hope you all having a good day. So so pretty much stay awesome. Cheers.